So a few weeks back, I did a first impression on a fragrance, and I completely forgot that I did a first impression on this. Usually when I do first impressions, I follow up in 10 days and do a full review on it, but there was a lot of new releases that I did. I still am waiting on full bottles of 1 Million Royal and a full bottle of, what's the other one? Damn it. Hugo Jeans, and then I'll do a full review of those. That's why I haven't done those, but this one I already have a full bottle. So anyway, we're going to be doing my full review. I've worn it now 4 times. I'll let you know exactly what I get from it if I still do like it and think that it's a good fragrance to pick up for the fall. But today we're going to be talking about a fragrance by Carolina Herrera. It's a limited edition. Carolina Herrera's 212 VIP Black I Love New York. Damn, that's a tongue twister. But without further ado, let's get it. What's going on, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka FragranceDoud. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Good stuff. Make sure that if you hit that like, it puts it on the algorithm. It helps out my videos. I know we don't get as many likes as views out there, so maybe my videos just suck. But if not, make sure to just hit that like for me, please. So again, I did this review about 2 weeks ago. Forgot that I did it. And I have worn it a few times. But when I did that video, I said that it was actually a pretty good fragrance. It was my first impressions. It was the opening 30 minutes. How did the dry down come in? Because I know I compared this to Eau de Parfum, but I said the opening was just as good, and as it dried down, it didn't get that absinthe note, even though there is absinthe in that. It feels like this fragrance is made by the same perfumer. It's almost like they made Eau de Parfum, or they made like 4 samples, and all 4 samples were the same fragrance, just with like an added note or something taken out. And then Polo or Ralph Lauren bought sample A, and Carolina Herrera bought sample B. It kind of smells like that, in my opinion, and I also sent this to a few other people, and they agreed. 3 of the 4 agreed. The 4th one, I don't remember what they said. But anyway, this is today what we're talking about today. Carolina Herrera's 212 VIP Black I Love New York. Crazy name. Bottle is cool. I mean, it has a magnetic cap, but I'm not a tourist. I just wanted to smell the fragrance, so I could do without the I Love New York thing. I do like New York, but I'd rather not have it on my fragrance bottle. So, spray that on. I already have it on my hand right now. I just like to spray it on the tester just so I can get a neutral feel of the fragrance. But let me get you the full note breakdown, since I do that in all my full reviews. So the top notes are grapefruit and cardamom. Mid notes are lavender and absinthe. And the base notes are coffee and vetiver. So as soon as you spray this on, you can say it's a little bit aromatic. There's a little bit of a gourmand sweetness to it. Definitely has a bit of warm and spicy and fruitiness to it. That grapefruit's coming through, but it doesn't really jump out to you and say, "Whoa, I'm a grapefruit." It doesn't really say that. It comes off a little bit tart, but it has this almost cranberry vibe to it. Like I said, it has this polar red vibe. I don't know what it is. I mean, obviously it has like that kind of aromatic woody gourmand feeling to it, which is what this is advertised as. But it also has this kind of fruitiness underneath it, kind of like Polar Red does. It also has a little bit of this absinthe underneath, which I still don't really fully understand what absinthe smells like. I just know that in Eau de Parfum, when you get to the dry down after about 30 to 45 minutes, the absinthe takes over the whole fragrance and it comes off just kind of like green and stale, and I don't like it. This one, the absinthe never comes out too heavy. But I do want to say, there is a lavender absinthe mixture as you get about 15 minutes into the fragrance that I want to talk about. So again, it first starts out, it's fruity, it's fresh, it's warm and spicy, but it has a little freshness underneath there. Imagine, as far as freshness, I'm talking about something like Most Wanted Eau de Parfum, or the Most Wanted, the original. It's kind of like that, where it has that fresh gourmand, where it can be worn any season, but don't get my words wrong or twisted, it's still a warmer fragrance that is more for nights out or more closer to the fall and winter. But if you want to, you can wear it in the spring and summer for sure. So again, how does this one smell? It smells, again, opens up. It has a little bit of fresh, almost kind of tart citrus, but it's not zesty. It doesn't really feel like a citrus. It feels more fruity. It has this aromatic undertone, a little bit of coffee in there as well. But I don't like it as much as I thought I did. So the first time that I wore it in my first impressions, I was really attracted by the fact that it was a better smelling Polo Red Parfum. I actually don't think, I think I still like Polo Red Parfums opening much better. Even though I said I like this, there's something about this that I think I just don't like absinthe. I think that might be my issue, but the second time around, third time around, fourth time around, I'll be 100% honest with you, I washed it off all 4 times. Not because it smells terrible. It just doesn't smell like something that I want to wear. And so I don't mind the fragrance. It kind of reminds me of almost like Polo Red Extreme if you dial down that coffee note and you added in a little bit more of this kind of like lavender and absinthe. It has a little bit of a green edge to it. The absinthe is a little bit less than what you get in Polo Red Parfum, but the coffee note is a nice added touch. And then, don't get me wrong, it doesn't smell bad. It's just, to me, I don't think it's something that I would ever wear. I think it's going to be something that I'm going to end up selling to one of you guys or doing a giveaway. I don't think that it's necessarily as good as I thought in the first 20 to 30 minutes. I don't even remember what I said. I could have said it was just okay. I honestly don't. For some reason, I think I said it was good. But anyway, as it gets to the dry down, it gets a little bit more of the absinthe in there, but it's never too heavy. That lavender comes forward and provides that kind of aromatic, and it has a little bit of earthiness to it as well. Then you get a bit of coffee and a slight touch of almost like a smoked vetiver. And I know that's a weird thing to say, but it kind of comes off like that. But overall, the best way to put it, it's kind of just an aromatic, woody gourmand. It doesn't really change too much. That fruitiness kind of goes away, and it's not a bad smelling scent. I would probably still give this scent probably an average of like a 7. Yeah, like a 7. It's just nothing that I think that is going to blow anybody's minds. It's more just lavender, coffee, a little bit gourmand, has a little bit of a sweetness to it. And there's nothing special about the fragrance. I've been hoping that there's going to be something special about these fragrances, especially limited edition fragrances, stuff like that. And there's nothing about this that really reminds me of New York, to be honest with you. But it doesn't smell bad. I think there's some people out there that are going to say I like it. I don't think anybody's going to say like, hey, that's my favorite fragrance of the year or anything like that. But Carolina Herrera 212 VIP I Love New York, how's the performance? Well, I washed it off every time, but the last time I wore it, I knew I had to get the full performance. So I do have one time full performance, and it was 7 hours. And when I say 7 hours, I'm kind of just taking a guess every single time I do the performance. It's not like I can sit there for 7 hours. So what I do, and I'm just letting you guys know, what I'm going to do is I spray it on, and I spray it on a full wear. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 probably. That's what I do. And then I'll usually use this spot to spray an extra spray, and then I'll smell that for like once an hour. And then I'll check the projection, check the performance, see how it smells. And then I'll get my wife's opinion, because sometimes I can go anosmic. So you got to get a second opinion as well as a reviewer. So anyway, whenever I sprayed that on, it was above average for the first like 45 minutes. Then it turned into a moderate scent. It was a moderate scent for about 4 hours. And then it kind of just became a skin scent. And it sat there where I could still smell it. And I was going anosmic to it, but my wife could still smell it at about 6 to 7 hours. So I'm going to say 6 to 7 is a good point. But overall, the fragrance is kind of just a middle of the road average fragrance. Has a little bit of a gourmand texture to it, but it's not a full gourmand. A little bit of coffee, not as much as I would have liked. A little bit more of an earthy take to it. And then that absinthe dialed down to where I'm okay with it, but I think I just don't like absinthe. I think that's just a thing because I found 3 fragrances this year. The first 3 fragrances I ever tried with absinthe, and I don't like any of them. Or I should say I don't love any of them. Because, I mean, they're designer fragrances. They're going to smell okay. It's just, well, are they going to smell great? These 3 haven't done anything for me. And I did a list where I did my worst 5 fragrances of the year, and 2 of the absinthe fragrances were in that. This wasn't in it because this one wasn't, I forgot I even had it, but that should tell you something. It probably should be in that list. But with that said, there's not really any designer fragrances out there that I've ever hated outside of like 2, and you guys probably know what that is. But with that said, I really wouldn't recommend this to anybody to go out and pay $114 for it. It's a limited edition, or it'll be gone in a year, and everybody's going to forget that it even existed, in my opinion. Overall, still not a bad fragrance. But let me know if you've tried this before, what you think about it, and again, I'll be back with another video. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Peace out.